Hello, good day, and thank you for joining us today again. Today is Sunday, the 9th day of March 2025, and today by God's grace we'll be reading in our Bible in one-year reading for today from the book of Joshua chapter 14, Joshua chapter 15, Joshua chapter 16, and Joshua chapter 17. Joshua chapter 14 reads, "And these are the countries which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel, distributed for inheritance to them. By lot was their inheritance, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half-tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of 2 tribes and a half-tribe on the other side Jordan. But unto the Levites he gave none inheritance among them, for the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Therefore they gave no part unto the Levites in the land, save cities to dwell in, with their suburbs for their cattle and for their substance. As the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did, and they divided the land. Then the children of Judah came unto Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, said unto them, Thou knowest the thing that the Lord said unto Moses, the man of God, concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses the servant of the Lord sent me from Kadesh Barnea to espy out the land, and I brought him word again, as it was in mine heart. Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. And Moses sware on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon thy foot have trodden shall be thine inheritance, and thy children's forever, because thou hadst wholly followed the Lord my God. And now, behold, the Lord hath kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years, even since the Lord spake this word unto Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now, lo, I am this day 85 years old. As yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war, both to go out and to come in. Now therefore give me this mountain, whereof the Lord spake in that day. For thou heardst in that day how the Anakims were there, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be the Lord will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as the Lord said. And Joshua blessed him, and gave unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh Hebron for an inheritance. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, unto this day, because that he wholly followed the Lord God of Israel. And the name of Hebron before was Kiriath Arba, which Arba was a great man among the Anakims, and the land had rest from war. End of Joshua chapter 14. Joshua chapter 15 reads, This then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by their families, even to the border of Edom, the wilderness of Zin. Southward was the uttermost part of the south coast, and their south border was from the shore of the salt sea, from the bay that looketh southward. And it went out to the south side of Male Akrabim, and passed along to Zin, and ascended up on the south side unto Kadesh Barnea, and passed along to Hezron, and went up to Adar, and fetched a compass to Karka. From thence it passed toward Asmon, and went out unto the river of Egypt. And the goings out of that coast were at the sea. This shall be your south coast. And the east border was the salt sea, even unto the end of Jordan. And their border in the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the uttermost part of Jordan. And the border went up to Beth Hoglah, and passed along by the north of Beth Arabah. And the border went up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. And the border went up towards Debar, from the valley of Achor, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal, that is before the going up to Adumim, which is on the south side of the river. And the border passed toward the waters of En-shemesh, and the goings out thereof were at En-rogel. And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom unto the south side of the Jebusite, the same is Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lieth before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the end of the valley of the giants northward. And the border was drawn from the top of the hill unto the fountain of the water of Nephotah, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron. And the border was drawn to Bela, which is Kiriath Jearim. And the border compassed from Bela westward unto Mount Seir, and passed along unto the side of Mount Jearim, which is Chesalon on the north side, and went down to Beth Shemesh, and passed on to Timnah. And the border went out unto the side of Ekron northward. And the border was drawn to Shikron, and passed along to Mount Bala, and went out unto Jabni. And the goings out of the border were at the sea. And the west border was to the great sea, and the coast thereof. This is the coast of the children of Judah round about according to their families. And unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh he gave a part among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, even the city of Arba, the father of Anak, which city is Hebron. And Caleb drove thence the 3 sons of Anak, Sheshai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. And he went up thence to the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir before was Kirjath Sepher. And Caleb said, He that smiteth Kirjath Sepher, and taketh it, to him will I give Achsah my daughter to wife. And Othniel the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Achsah his daughter to wife. And it came to pass, as she came unto him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field, and she lighted off her ass. And Caleb said unto her, What wouldest thou? Who answered, Give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a south land, give me also springs of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families. And the uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the coast of Edom, southward, were Kebzil, and Eder, and Jagor, and Kinah, and Dimonah, and Dadar, and Kedesh, and Hazor, and Itnan, Zip, and Telem, and Bealoth, and Hazor, Hadattah, and Kerioth, and Hezron, which is Hazor, Amam, and Shema, and Moladar, and Hazar Gadar, and Heshmon, and Beth Palet, and Hazar Shual, and Beersheba, and Bizjoth Jar, Bala, and Aim, and Azem, and El Tolad, and Chesil, and Homar, and Ziklag, and Madmanah, and Sansana, and Leboath, and Shilhim, and Ain, and Rimmon. All the cities are 29, with their villages, and in the valley Eshtawal, and Zoriah, and Ashna, and Zanoah, and En-Ganim, Tapua, and Enam, Jarmuth, and Adullam, Sokoh, and Azekah, and Sharim, and Adithaim, and Gedera, and Gedorothaim, 14 cities with their villages, Zinan, and Hadashah, and Migdal Gad, and Delin, and Mispheh, and Joktheel, Lachish, and Bozkath, and Eglon, and Kabon, and Lamam, and Kithlish, and Gideroth, Beth Dagon, and Namah, and Makeda, 16 cities with their villages, Libnah, and Ithar, and Ashnan, and Jiptah, and Ashna, and Nezib, and Keilah, and Akzib, and Mareshah, 9 cities with their villages, Ekron with her towns and her villages. From Ekron even unto the sea, all that lay near Ashdod, with their villages, Ashdod with her towns and her villages, Gaza and her towns and her villages, unto the river of Egypt, and the great sea, and the border thereof, and in the mountains, Shamir, and Jatir, and Sokor, and Dana, and Kiriath Sanah, which is Debir, and Anab, and Eshtemor, and Anim, and Goshen, and Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages, Arab, and Duma, and Eshnin, and Janum, and Beth Tapua, and Afekah, and Humta, and Kiriath Arba, which is Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages, Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Juttah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zonah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages, Halhul, Beth Zor, and Gedor, and Marath, and Beth Anoth, and Eltekon, 6 cities with their villages, Kiriath Baal, which is Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth Arabah, Midin, and Sekaka, and Nibshan, and the city of Salt, and En-Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out. But the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem unto this day. End of Joshua chapter 15. Joshua chapter 16 reads, And the lot of the children of Joseph fell from Jordan by Jericho unto the water of Jericho on the east, to the wilderness that goeth up from Jericho throughout Mount Bethel, and goeth out from Bethel to Luz, and passeth along unto the borders of Akai to Ataroth, and goeth down westward to the coast of Jephletai, unto the coast of Beth Horon and Netha, and to Gezer, and the goings out thereof are at the sea. So the children of Joseph, Manasseh and Ephraim, took their inheritance. And the border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was thus: even the border of their inheritance on the east side was Ataroth Adar, unto Beth Horon the upper, and the border went out toward the sea to Mikmetha on the north side, and the border went about eastward unto Tanath Shiloh, and passed by it on the east to Janohah, and it went down from Janohah to Atharoth and to Narath, and came to Jericho, and went out at Jordan. The border went out from Tapua westward unto the river Kanah, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim by their families. And the separate cities for the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. And they drave not out the Canaanites that dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell among the Ephraimites unto this day, and serve under tribute. End of Joshua chapter 16. Joshua chapter 17 reads, There was also a lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph, to wit, for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead. Because he was a man of war, therefore he had Gilead and Bashan. There was also a lot for the rest of the children of Manasseh by their families, for the children of Abiezer, and for the children of Helek, and for the children of Asriel, and for the children of Shechem, and for the children of Hepher, and for the children of Shemida. These were the male children of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, by their families. But Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but daughters, and these are the names of his daughters: Maalal and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they came there before Eleazar the priest, and before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the princes, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brethren. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them an inheritance among the brethren of their father. And there fell 10 portions to Manasseh, beside the land of Gilead and Bashan, which were on the other side Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his sons, and the rest of Manasseh's sons had the land of Gilead. And the coast of Manasseh was from Asher to Mikmethah, that lieth before Shechem, and the border went along on the right hand unto the inhabitants of En-Tappuah. Now Manasseh had the land of Tappuah, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim, and the coast descended unto the river Kanah, southward of the river. These cities of Ephraim are among the cities of Manasseh. The coast of Manasseh also was on the north side of the river, and the outgoings of it were at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea is his border. And they met together in Asher on the north, and in Issachar on the east. And Manasseh had in Issachar and in Asher Beth Shean and her towns, and Ibleam and her towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Tanakh and her towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns, even 3 countries. Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. Yet it came to pass, when the children of Israel were waxen strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute, but did not utterly drive them out. And the children of Joseph spoke unto Joshua, saying, Why hadst thou given me but 1 lot and 1 portion to inherit, seeing I am a great people, for as much as the Lord hath blessed me hitherto? And Joshua answered them, If thou be a great people, then get thee up to the wood country, and cut down for thyself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the giants, if Mount Ephraim be too narrow for thee. And the children of Joseph said, The hill is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites that dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both they who are of Beth-shean and her towns, and they who are of the valley of Jezreel. And Joshua spake unto the house of Joseph, even to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, Thou art a great people, and hadst great power. Thou shalt not have 1 lot only, but the mountains shall be thine, for it is a wood, and thou shalt cut it down, and the outgoings of it shall be thine, for thou shalt drive out the Canaanites, though they have iron chariots, and though they be strong. End of Joshua chapter 17. We thank God for bringing us to the end of the Bible reading for today. We also celebrate you for joining us to read along. Just as the Lord did for the children of Israel, it is our prayer also that the Lord would cause you to possess your possessions in Jesus' name. We look forward to having you join us tomorrow again, when we would by God's grace be reading from the book of Joshua chapter 18 down to chapter 20. Have a wonderful Sunday ahead. God bless you, and bye for now.